Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials, and in this Scott Tries, we are going to be trying 8 base. You remember in the last video we did user base, and then in this one it's 8 base. I don't think they're related, just like the word base. That's pretty cool. Yeah, base. It's it's your home base. It's your I guess that's a decent word to use for this kind of service. And what is 8 base? Well, okay, before we even get into that, let's get into what this series is. My name is Scott Tolinsky. This is a series in which I talk about web services while I try them for the very first time. Now, this isn't an in-depth tutorial. This is not me teaching how to use these things. This is largely first impressions from somebody who uses a lot of this stuff. First impressions on home pages, first impressions on dashboards, talking about the pricing, talking about the services themselves, because we all know that you are going to arrive at 8base.com and you see the headline that says accelerate development of your digital vision, and just be like, okay. What does that do? What does it do? We were really lucky because Whimsical, the first one, it's like we do mind chart or we do flow charts, mock-ups, and this and this, and you're just like, oh, okay, so that's what you do. But we head to 8base.com and it's accelerate development of your digital vision. Well, how are you going to do that? You can give me a skateboard? I don't know. What does that even mean? I mean, my digital vision could mean so many things. I don't understand. But I do see a graph here, or an image, a 3D little cool hover image that has integrations. It has DevOps, free infrastructure, application core services. Okay. All of those things pump into 8. Then they pump out a GraphQL API. And then here's your website. Feedback for the 8base team. This looks dope. I mean, this is a great image and it's really cool. It's very visual. I see services I recognize, Stripe, whatever. But to me, this looks like the website is providing the GraphQL API into 8 and it's shooting out these, not the other way around. It could just be me. Who knows? I'm just picky. Either way, platform and services for building powerful software. Okay, still platform and services for building software. What platforms and services? What do they do? What are you doing for me? What is this company? Deliver faster. Okay, thank you. That's what you can do. Do more with less. Conquer larger projects. Okay. Operate at scale. Okay. It looks like, if I had to guess, it's a place to store data and have an API spit out. We talked about a service. I'm guessing. Okay, we'll get into this more, but we talked about Hasura in the very first one of these, where you had a database and it does so many cool things for you. It's not a CMS, but it sits in front of your database and provides the GraphQL API. I think that maybe is what this is doing as well. Focus on your innovation. Okay, stop with the generic language, the status quo. Just tell me what it does. Customer experience. Customers no longer settle on mediocre experiences. Increase revenue. Okay, I'm having a hard time. Solution. 8base platform allows you to integrate backend systems and securely expose them through a GraphQL API. Couldn't you just say that like way earlier than this? Okay. So this homepage doesn't really tell you a whole lot about what they do. I mean, it does, but it does in a very fluffy kind of way, not like a actual kind of way, not a plain English kind of way, that's for sure. Jumpstart your journey to building. Okay, this is an exact same way of just saying the same thing on the homepage, just slightly different. Work with us to help you design powerful web apps and mobile. So working with them. Does that mean they do some consulting or something? We'll see. Startups. Can we just start calling startups small businesses? Like, I'm not hating on 8base because everybody calls them startups, but they're just small businesses, established companies, whatever. Leverage our purpose-built foundation. Okay. Market, fixed time, fixed price. As a startup, how can 8base help you? Please give me some information. What is this? Entrepreneurs make considerable sacrifices to pursue. Okay, I know what entrepreneurs do. Okay. We help founders build quickly, meticulously, architecturally sound from the first line of code. The result is a product that is backable by professional investors. So are they building the front end? Are they building the back end? Are they building this whole site? What are they doing? Are they just doing the data? Holy cow. Yikes. I just want to know what they do here. Okay. Click pricing. For small parts, it has a robust pricing. Relational data builder. Okay. That indicates it's a data service. Automatic GraphQL API indicates that it's a data service. Built-in user administration. It's a data service. Custom roles, permissions. It's data. MySQL on AWS. Yes. Okay. It's a database and serverless functions. Couldn't you have said that at any point before this? I mean, maybe you did, but it wasn't obvious. Here's a bunch of checkbox. Let me contrast that a little bit with Hasura, because obviously we'll get into this more, but I feel like Hasura tells you what it does better than this. Get real-time GraphQL APIs instantly. Hasura is an open source engine that connects you to your databases and microservices. Contrast that and compare that with Accelerate Your Digital Vision, platform services for building powerful software. Like, this is all marketing junk. This is like English. So, okay, I'm sorry. 8base, I'm going to stop hating on your copy here, I promise. And I'm going to get into it because let's say some nice things. The design is very friendly. It's very nice. Like the colors. Love these colors here. Here it is in more indications that this is a database service or a data service. Database rows see, this is our pricing table, right? The free version and the pricing, what you get all goes up based on, well, how many users? Okay, that's standard. Team members, that's standard. Serverless function and invocations, okay? So how many times a serverless function is fired? Okay. How much data a serverless function takes up? Okay, so serverless functions, check. File and image storage, that's a data storage, check. GraphQL subscription events, check. Works API calls. So it's all about building an API. And it just seems like they obfuscate that so much. So much. And maybe this is not to appeal to developers, built for developers by developers. Okay, sure. See, this is the kind of stuff I want to see. If it is for developers and by developers, yeah, this is the kind of stuff I want to see. Everything else just reads as fluff. Okay, let's go ahead and do the start for free here. I'm not a marketing executive. They're not trying to sell to me. They don't have to listen to me in any of this, obviously. Okay, so this is the 8base login, which looks familiar, but it might just be a design thing. I'm going to sign up with GitHub because I'm doing that with all of these. One step away, click authorize, and it works, which, as we saw in the last video, the login did some weird stuff. It didn't really work, didn't take us anywhere. So happy to see this one work and powering up our environment. Cool. Nice little design. One thing 8base does get right is obviously the design is very pleasant. The development stuff is very awesome. Like those 3D hovers, those SVGs, all that stuff is fantastic. It's great. Okay. Here we go. In it to win it here. Welcome to 8base. Hey, Sebastian. Cool. All right. We get some hand holding here. Already a step up. Loving it. All right. Thank you for signing up for 8base. Okay. Get these ready to go. Here, I'll show you how to turn off learning mode. The very first thing is, here's how to turn off learning mode. But there was no next. I clicked the X because there was no next, and now learning mode's gone. If I click here, do I get learning mode back? Account? Oh no, learning mode is still on. So where'd you go? There was no next. Okay, whatever. We have intercom over here. Okay, I'll have to see this. Okay. End user accounts, single sign-on methods, how many 8base database rows? I believe their database is a SQL database, MySQL, hosted on AWS. Looks like we have a data builder, a logic builder, an API explorer, 8base documentation, setting, and users. So far, this feels like Hasura, and that's a positive thing. It's just, I wish they would have come out and said that. Okay. Welcome to the Data Builder. In the Data Builder, we can create relational data models on the tables. Don't worry, we'll handle that stuff for you. Thank you, Sebastian. I didn't like about Hasura that they made you get too databasey. This already looks like it's a nice design on top of the database, okay? Clicking add new tables once the table is created. Ooh, they have an 8-base academy. That's pretty cool. You keep exploring the data from here, one to many, many to one, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's add a new table. New table, let's do it, to it. Default table, we'll just call this, movies. I like to use movies as an example. I don't know why. I don't even love movies. So we have the auto-generated fields. See, okay, we talked about that with the Hasura. When they created the database, there was things like an ID field and stuff. We had to create all that ourselves. We had to select the database method to do all that. Here, auto-generated fields for an ID, created at, updated at, created by. Boom, bingo, bango, love it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't even want to think about it. User-defined fields. Let's have a user-defined field of a title, and this is going to be a type of text. And we can create a field. It's not, okay, all this stuff. We will say this is mandatory because it's the movie title, right? Okay. 8-base, your design is fantastic. Everything is fantastic. But I will tell you, you got to look at the accessibility contrast on these placeholder text. I know placeholder text is like kind of a weird thing anyways, because it's, you don't want to be too bold, but this placeholder text, and this is a nitpick, is not passing any, it's definitely not passing any contrast checkers. If you are poor vision, you ain't seeing that. And because of that, since these have no field, like these have no labels, you don't even know what this says, right? You don't know that this is. And I have good vision and I'm struggling to read this. And add new field. I thought that said, well, I don't know what it would say, but the point is that contrast is not good enough. Just a nitpick. I guess that's not even a nitpick. You got to have the accessibility stuff down. Okay, data. Cool. This all looks really fantastic. There is no data. Let's add a record. And it makes a nice little form for me. We can just say, this is 5 deadly venoms. By the end of this series, you're going to know all of these Kung Fu movies. Nice little toast message there. Cool beans. I don't know why I said cool beans. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so we have our schema. We have our data. Now that we have some data, now that we have a table in here, let's check out some of this API Explorer stuff. API Explorer, this is the GraphQL API, yada, yada, yada. I have used many GraphQL Explorers. I know the deal. Okay, so this is cool. We open up our brackets here. You can bump up the interface size if you want to see. And let's get to town. I'm just going to try a mutation before I even look at the docs. And we're going to say M for movies. Ta-da, da-da-da-da-da. Movies and movies list. It's always funny to see how people name things, especially with these APIs. We had other ones which will pop in and they'd be like movies and then, or movie, and then all movies or something. This one chose the list keyword. It's just something I like to think about when I'm looking at this stuff. It's not important at all, but naming things is hard. And I'm always interested to see how people are naming things. So movies or movies list. Let's grab our movies list. And you can see, what do we need inside here? Is it items? We don't do like edges or nodes or something. We do items. I honestly prefer items, even though I get why people do edges and nodes. And we're going to say title. And we're going to say created at. And we're going to say created by. And let's click play. Bingo, bingo. Here is our API. It's created by a user ID. Pretty cool. If you have this created by, it automatically filled in the ID for me. What if we have like a first name? I know I don't have a first name in here, I don't think. Maybe I do. Yeah, first name is blank. Okay. So this is really cool. It automatically, this is a relational table already. We didn't have to think about this. We didn't have to build this. The created by was automatically inserted because I created this myself. It has my user data, relational data out of the box. 8-base. Once I get past your homepage and understand what you do, I love your product. This to me is like aspects of Hasura. Obviously, I don't want to continue to compare the two services because I haven't done a deep comparison between these two services. But I am in the market all the time for services to build and host my API in all the time, all the time. And if you're going to give me a layer in front of a database that spits out an API like this without me having to do anything, A plus, absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm interested in this logic. What is logic? 8-base allows you to deploy custom server-side logic. So basically, logic is where your serverless functions is. I'm guessing what goes here. You can use TypeScript. A plus. Love me some TypeScript. The docs here, I don't know why this page didn't load, but the docs seem rather robust and well designed. Looking nice. I like me some well-designed, robust docs, and I will be checking these out. I should say that this service overall, like once I'm in this part, I feel very at home. I'm a developer, not a marketer. I'm not going to continue to hash on that topic. All right. Users. I have one user. Here's me. I'm active and I'm an administrator. I could give myself a name and a picture and all that stuff. This dashboard is fantastic. I want to rip some of this stuff off. We have a search table sort of like this in the Level Up Tuts admin side of things, but I love this active, inactive, new user stuff. I want to rip that off. Looks cool. All right, app services. We have an administrator and a guest. You can set up your own roles. What about authentication? Authentication profiles. This is interesting. You could have an 8-base and auth O. You know, it's funny. Auth 0 is what I thought the login for 8-base looked like. I would guess they're using auth 0 to power their login system for their service itself. Only because I saw that login system and I was like, huh, this looks super duper familiar. Okay. Self sign up, email delivery, open to all. Interesting. I don't like writing my own auth, not because I can't. I just don't like doing it. It's something you have to do for every app and doesn't really change that much. And there's a lot of work. So anybody who can make my life easier around auth is something I'm into. Integrations. Let's see what we can have for integrations. Salesforce. Yeah, I don't use Salesforce, but everybody does. A lot of people use Salesforce, so can't find what you're looking for. More integrations coming soon. I bet. That sounds cool. Although I am a little curious about their homepage. They had all these different services there. I don't know where those come in, but we'll see. Looks like front-end flexibility. Host whatever you want. Gatsby, Gridsum, Swift, React Native, Android. Yeah, all the stuff. Cool. Okay. Settings. Basic information. Work. Yeah. Ooh, hey. So, remember when we were talking about Take Shape a couple of videos ago, and I said, hey, would it be really cool if my endpoint URL was made visible to me and I didn't have to guess it by Frankensteining together some copy and paste? Look at this. They give it to you right here. Here it is. Now, granted, I am missing an authentication token, which is good news that this is secured by default, but it gives me my endpoint URL right there. What a cool thing. Thank you. This is nice. API tokens, team localization, env variables. So you can set up your env variables. Okay, so what is 8-base and what are they doing and who should be using 8-base? Well, looks like if you need a place to host data and serverless functions. A lot of these service seems to be like blank and serverless functions, right? Netlify is like front-end code and serverless functions, and begin serverless functions and full site generation and hosting. This is data and serverless functions. So that's sort of where this fits in. And to be honest, I kind of like how this is all laid out. Again, once I got past that marketing language, and here's my API endpoint down here too, double A+. Once I got past all that marketing language, it was very crystal clear what the heck this is. And I'm a big fan. If you're looking for a place to host your data and you are a developer, you need authentication, you need an API, 8-base seems like a cool option. I don't know what their longevity is. I don't know who's using it, but the pricing, it seemed really nice to me. Let's see if I can get back to the pricing page. It might take me to the login. The pricing seemed really nice to me for what you're getting. The free account is enough to get started. The hobbyist is only $8 a month. The developer is $49 a month, but that gets you a whopping amount of stuff, right? You probably won't need that unless you're hitting, 1 million API calls a month. So at that point, $49 a month for hosting your API, that's not that bad. $149 a month for 5 million API hits a month. Again, if you're getting 5 million API hits a month and you're not making enough to cover that cost, then your business needs to be relooked at. So yeah, 8base. This is pretty cool. 8base.com. Give it a look. Check out some of the stuff. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be inspecting these and seeing how they did this. If it's SVG or these divs, what are these? It's SVG. I thought so. Interesting. A lot of transitions going on in this SVG. Pretty cool. Site doesn't seem to suffer for it. Okay, sorry. A little tangent there. My name is Scott Tolinski. If you want to watch more of me teaching you how to do web development, head on over to leveluptutorials.com and you can sign up for the year and save 25%. I'm sorry, my site's dragging. Everything's dragging. My CPU is going nuts right now. Recording this 4K stream on top of a screencast screen. So there's me teaching you how to make a GraphQL API. Sign up for the year and save 25%, and you'll get access to things like courses and a new course every single month. So also, if you are looking to up your podcast game, check out Syntax at syntax.fm or subscribe to Syntax in your favorite podcast player, whatever that may be, and check it out. We do a show on all sorts of cool stuff, serverless cloud functions, tech to watch, Pika package. It's just so much cool stuff. Wes Boss and I host this together. We have a great time doing it. So check it out, syntax.fm, level up tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the week 3 of Scott Tries Web Services. Leave a comment in the video. Let me know what kind of changes or modifications you want to see to the series. It's still up in the air in terms of like what this is. I'm making it happen. We're doing it kind of rough, but we're just getting it out there. I'm trying new things and I'm learning about different web services as we go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.